Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today I'm going to be talking about Split 1 Cup 1 for the South Asia Challengers tournament. And let's just say the grand final was incredibly messy. But obviously before we get into the playoffs, let's first talk about the teams that competed in the Split 1 Cup 1. Which includes Grey Fox Esports, Orangutan, Reckoning Esports, True Rippers, Revenant Esports, Metal Esports, MLT Esports, and Carnival Gaming. And here are the players as well. You may know them, you might not know them, it doesn't really matter. Let's now have a look now at the standings. So Revenant Esports actually going undefeated, 7-0. Then Grey Fox Esports, Metal Esports, and True Rippers ran out the top 4. The top 4 will did advance to the playoffs. And then 5th through 8th, we have Reckoning Esports, Orangutan, who was the team that represented South Asia last year in Ascension, MLT Esports, and going 0 and 7 is Carnival Gaming. So, I guess let's first have a look at week 1. I don't think there's really been any big surprises, I don't think. I mean, MLT, I guess this one being our Reckoning Esports, 2-1 victory for there, 13-4 on Icebox for Reckoning Esports, and 37 on the Sand, 35 on Breeze for MLT Esports. Reminder that MLT was finishing 7th place. Orangutan also won against Carnival Gaming, but that's not really surprised considering that Carnival Gaming went 7-0. And the other one was, as we head over now to week 2, Orangutan beating that MLT convincingly, 13-4 on Lotus, which was convincing, and 15-13 on Ascend for Orangutan to take that MLT 2-0. And then week 3, I'm not really too sure. I mean, MLT also winning against Carnival Gaming, which once again, not really a surprise considering that Carnival Gaming went 0 and 7. Playoffs now, this is where it really shines and we kind of mainly focus on. So first off, Revenant Esports versus True Rippers. It was a 2-0 victory for Revenant Esports against True Rippers, 13-10 on Icebox, 13-7 on Bind. Revenant Esports was basically the team to beat in Split 1. I mean, they have players like SK Rossi, Dosh Nice, Severin, I'm pretty sure is in it. It might be by Orangutan, I'm not really too sure, but there are some amazing players on this team. So there was quite a lot of high hopes for this team, and they kind of disappointed, I'll be honest. But True Rippers, they kind of struggled here against Revenant Esports, which is not really of a surprise. Grey Fox Esports, they narrowly beat out Metal Esports, a 2-1 victory for Grey Fox, 37 on Lotus for Metal Esports, and 39 on Split, 37 on Bind. They kind of struggled, especially on Lotus. I mean, they didn't really look as flashy as they normally do, but yeah, I mean, they just struggled here on Lotus. I mean, they had like the Omen Viper comp, which is kind of normal on Lotus, so no really surprises there. But on that, it's just they just struggled here, so not really surprised there. Lowbracket semi-finals as Metal Esports was knocked out from the playoffs by True Rippers, 37 on Sunset and 13-8 on Icebox. Once again, no surprises there. I kind of thought Metal Esports were probably maybe the 4th best team out of the top 4 teams who made it to the playoffs. Because True Rippers, they have some great pieces, they have some great talent. And Metal Esports, I can't actually remember any of the players, I'll be honest. So we'll ignore that. But this is what I kind of want to mainly talk about. Revenant Esports. Because what the fuck happened to this team? I have, like, seriously, they were destroyed. They were manhandled on Bind by Grey Fox Esports 13-2, and it made a really close on Cento 13-11. But as kind of a, actually, it wasn't a miracle because Grey Fox uses weird double, they use double controller, while Revenant Esports they use double initiator. So they were a bit different there, regarding comp wise. But Revenant Esports, they just weren't Revenant Esports. They weren't really the team that I thought they were going to be coming to the playoffs. I mean, there's a reason why that they were 7-0 because they were just a league above everyone else. Here, they struggled a lot on Bind, and I mean, and hell, look at here. They on Bind as well. They won against True Rippers 13-7, and so with them to basically turn around and to be basically like maybe one of the worst teams on Bind is really impressive. But Grey Fox, they handle them perfectly. But I can't even wrap my head around what the hell happened to Revenant, because they were looking as one of the best teams in South Asia, and then they just fell off massively. So that was interesting to see. And it got worse as well for them as they lost to Chirippers. I'm pretty sure, I think on the next day, I'm pretty sure, yeah, on the next day, they lost to Chirippers to be knocked out of the playoffs. Everyone, including the analysts as well, thought that Revenant Esports was going to make it to the grand final, and maybe the next one was probably Grey Fox Esports. That's what we kind of all thought. But in actuality, it was the second and the third best team in South Asia in the playoffs. Like, Grey Fox, they were always trying to keep track on Revenant Esports. And Revenant Esports, they were just on another level. True Rippers, they were kind of decent. They were just alright. They were just there. And Metal Esports, I completely forgot about them, I'll be honest. So with True Rippers beating out Revenant Esports, 30-10 on Icebox, 14-12 on Split, really sends a message as well to Revenant Esports, especially for it basically shows that they're not that well. They're good, but they're not as good as we thought they would be. But to be fair, both of these teams, Grey Fox and True Rippers, both of them did their homework against Revenant Esports and they took them down. So that's just kind of how Valorant works. I mean, if you don't have the homework, if you don't have the work against your opponents, then you're just gonna flop. I mean, they basically got destroyed almost by Revenant Esports in the upper semifinals. And here, I mean, they played Icebox, and Icebox was pretty close, 13-10 to Revenant Esports, and this time they basically, I don't think they actually made any changes. They just played a much better Icebox than Revenant Esports. So that's a really unlikely for Revenant Esports, but hopefully they do bounce back for the second cup on Split 1. And for the grand final, maybe one of the messiest grand finals that I've ever watched. It was a 3-2 victory for Grey Fox Esports against True Rippers, but this also shows that both of these teams are pretty similar. 14-12 on Icebox for True Rippers, and 15-5 on Bind and 37 on Lotus for Grey Fox. 14-12 on Split for True Rippers, and 13-11 on Breeze for Grey Fox. Now, just like I said, this match was an absolute just a mess. There were so many mistakes from both teams, especially from capitalizing off rounds. Map awareness especially was a big one on Split. But it was a good game, but there was just so many mistakes. And over time, I think you've already seen, I think maybe 3 videos are up by now. But I did do VOD reviews, or basically just reviewing the grand finals when it was actually live. So go check them out if you want to. But it was just a very, very messy grand final. So stats-wise for the grand final, Sayo from Grey Fox and Adrian King, both of them were maybe the standouts. Vanka also doing a great job as well. He was really, really impactful on Icebox and Breeze especially. He didn't really do much when he was on KJ and Cypher, but he was very impactful on the General Rays. And then for True Rippers, Techno, he turned up a notch. He was really, really, really good there. But the main issue on True Rippers was Deathmaker. Deathmaker, he was always the first one to die, which did not help True Rippers whatsoever, because they relied so much on Deathmaker just to create the space so they could push up onto the site, and he just kept dying and dying and dying, so it didn't really help them, so they had to rely on individual playmaking from RU, from Techno, from Disrupt. They need individual playmakers because Deathmaker kept dying. So that was a massive issue there. But like Sayo getting 19 first kills, Vanka getting 23 kills is what I wanted to see for duelist players. So that's a great sign from those two. Icebox, like I mentioned before, was 14-12, went to Ivory Timer once. Techno doing a wonderful job including RU as well. Hoax played really well on the Sage, which was really cool to see. And then Bind 13-5 on the Bind for Grey Fox. Not too bad there for Grey Fox. Very good job from Cypher on the Cypher, which was just basically giving True Rippers a hard time. 37 on Load as well for Grey Fox. This is where True Rippers saw that they were going to win against Grey Fox, but they just got absolutely smoked when Grey Fox went to defense. So it was kind of just a false hope for True Rippers because they saw how badly they were on Lotus last time in the playoffs, but Either way, Split went to Chirupas once again. Overtime once. Disrupt and Ayu, I think, were definitely the standouts for Split, for Chirupas especially. And then Breeze, a very close 13-11. Sire doing a great job. Tecto and Deathmaker also doing a phenomenal job there. And performance-wise as well, there were a couple of 4Ks. Sire getting 4K, including Khalil and Vanka. RU getting 1 4K, Techno getting 2 4Ks, and Techno Oris getting a 1v4 clutch win as well. So now, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help me, especially on this channel. I would also really appreciate if you guys want me to do more of these VOD reviews like I did for South Asia. So let me know down in the comments below in this video, or even in my videos on South Asia. Let me know so I can see what you guys think about it. So that's really about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys next time in the next one. Goodbye.